guys, welcome into the show. Man, thank you so much for being with us. It's a beautiful day. I hope you guys are enjoying it. We're going to be making a really nice strawberry tart for you today. We're going to be using Nutella in our filling for the tart. We got to make the tart shell first. So we're going to get started with that right now. And it's relatively simple to get it going. We're going to use the food processor. And we're going to start with 1.5 cups of flour in the processor. We're also going to put in 1/4 cup of sugar because the tart shell's got to have some sweet to it. Okay, and what we're going to do here is put our lid on, and I'm just going to pulse this up just a little bit, and just enough to make a little smoke come out of the top. It's a beautiful thing, but just to get a good pulse going on it. And then I'm going to just let that sit for just a second. And I'm going to take this 1/2 cup of butter, and I'm just going to cube it up here. And the butter is chilled. I mean, it needs to be as cold as you can get it without being frozen, just so it'll help make the dough for you. And once you get these cubes down to about this size, you still want to go ahead and make it smaller, even cut them in half again. Okay, so we'll just get the butter nice and diced up. And once you get it to this point, we'll take the lid back off of our processor here, and we're going to add our butter. Just like that. And what we're looking for here, we're going to be looking for the dough to become like just about like breadcrumbs. The butter is cold, so we just want to get it pulsed up and get it to the point where it's real coarse looking. And it'll take just a little bit. But the butter will really adhere to the flour and just make it real nice and coarse. And I can hear it, you can hear it change texture as you go. And you can see it. Once it starts to resemble breadcrumbs, and it starts to come together, once it starts to pack together like that, you're pretty much good to go. Okay? So we're going to just remove that, and we'll get our tart shell set up as well. And the thing with the tart shell that we need to do is just take some butter, just a stick, and like we've done in the past, we'll just make sure we get it nice and greased up. We want to cover the entire glass dish with butter. Okay, so the inside of the dish, and we're going to use our hands just to get in there, but there's ridges around the outside edge of this dish, and you want to make sure you get some butter inside all the surfaces in there. And we'll use our hands once again. But once you get the rim, just finish the flat surface on the bottom with the butter. Just paint it real good, just like that. Then we'll take our hand and just fill all the space. Get it right in to the ridges, that fluted area around the outside. Just like that. Perfect. Okay. And then we're going to do one more job just to make sure that baby will come out. Okay, we'll take our flour here. And we'll get us just enough, 1/8 cup. And we want to sprinkle it all around this shell. Then we'll take it and just tap it against all that butter, just so every little surface of butter is touched with the flour. That'll just help make sure that we get our tart shell out. And then all the extra, just kind of tap it out. Okay, make sure where you touched it too, you get that covered. My hand's cleaned up here. And it'll seem like you're not going to get enough dough to cover all the surface, but trust me, it's a sound recipe. We just want to pour this up and try and spread it out as you pour it in. Okay, just like that. Then what we'll do, we'll move that out of the way. What we'll do is start to press. And so I'm going to take from the middle and start pushing out all the way to the edge of the rim. Okay, so we want to go all the way to the top with this, with the dough. So you want to get enough of it on the outside first. So I'm just going to just make sure I get enough pressed up the walls. Okay, so it'll go all the way to the top. Just like that. And before you start pressing, just make sure you have enough to go all the way up to the rim. Okay, and then once you get enough, just start pressing. And what we're doing is just making our tart shell, just finishing it up, bringing it together. Okay, so just go all the way around the rim first. And you can make you a little divot right there in the middle around the bottom, just so you know you got enough. Just like that. And once you've gone all the way around, you take the extra and just fill in the space. You don't want it high or low in one spot. You want it real nice and even. And then just start pressing it down. Just like that. Once you get it all pressed in, we'll take a fork and just poke some holes in it, just like you would any other dough, okay? And we're gonna sell it to the oven at 350 for about 20 minutes, you guys. When we come back, we'll make our filling for our tart. This is cooking today. Okay, you guys, welcome back. We're gonna move on to our filling for our tart. Man, it's gonna be a good little dish. I'm excited, I can't wait to try it. We're gonna start with our cornstarch, and we'll use about a tablespoon of cornstarch in this bowl here. And to that, we're going to add about a quarter a cup of our milk. And we're going to save the rest of it to go into our pan over here on the stove. So we'll just kind of save that out. We're going to add to this our vanilla. Okay, and we're also going to add our Nutella. And the Nutella is just hazelnut, man, and skim milk with cocoa. Great little product. Such good flavor in this. The hazelnuts are so good, man. And we're not going to use hazelnut extract in this, and you can if you want, but we're just going to use about 3/4 of a cup of the Nutella to give this good flavor, man, some good body. It's going to be so nice. It's real stringy here, and we just want to make sure we have plenty. About 3/4 of a cup, as close to it as you can get without measuring. Okay, and we just want to scrape that off of that spoon, just like that. And we just want to mix this up real good. Our milk and our Nutella and the vanilla. Just blend it up. Okay, and to the stove, I'm going to go ahead and add my pan, because I'm going to add the rest of my milk right here. And I'm going to get it going. But I need to blend all this up as best I can. See how chocolatey it just looks really nice. And this is going to go in here. The cornstarch will thicken it up real good. Okay, we'll just get that blended. That looks great. And I'm going to add just a pinch of salt right here to the milk before it gets warmed, okay? Okay, and while that goes, I'm going to set that aside just for a little bit. We'll bring our milk up to temperature. The other thing we're going to do is clean up some strawberries here. And I have some nice fresh ones we got at the store. And what we need to do is just cut off all the stems on these. We'll just get them cleaned up real good. You want to make sure that your strawberries are fresh. You want to make sure that they're nice and clean, you guys, that they've been washed and refrigerated. We want them as chilled as we can get. But we also want all the stem off of there, all of that green stuff, because we need to cut these in half to go over the top of our tart, our chilled pudding, as it were. Okay, and we'll just get all of these cleaned up. And we're going to use that bowl again to put all our stems in once we get done here. Just like that. We'll take all of that, just get that cleaned up, get rid of it. Okay. And then what we'll do, take our strawberries and just cut them in half the long ways. Okay, as long as you can make them when you cut them in half. And just leave them standing right on your board. And I can see steam coming off of my milk already. So we're just about there. We'll get right back to that. But we want to make sure all these strawberries are set and ready to go. Okay, just like that, and then so, and our last one right there, just like that. Okay. Now, and we have a good steam going on here with our milk. So what we'll do, I'm going to take that same whisk and just start to just move it around. Okay, and you can hear it start. I mean, it's right there at that point. So what I'll do is take this mixture with the Nutella and add it to the warming milk. Just like that. And what we want to do here is continue to blend. Stir this in real good. Okay. And the cornstarch will start to thicken it up. The warmer it gets, the more active the cornstarch will be. And it will blend this up and thicken it up really, really nicely. But you want to stay right on top of it. You don't want to walk away from it. We're not looking for a complete roll and boil here. We just want to keep it moving. Okay? Looks great. Smells so good. You guys, and after we come back from our break, we'll get this finished up. We'll let it cool off and get it poured into our tart shell. Get our strawberries on top. We'll show you what it looks like at the end. Man, come on back. This is Cooking Today. Up next, we'll show you the chilled tart and top it with strawberries. Okay guys, welcome back to the show. Man, we are doing really great. Our tart is done, and we've taken our tartlet, the shell, it's been in the oven for, it had about 30-40 minutes in the oven just to get it to this brown state. And then we let it chill out for about 20 minutes. So it's good and done. You can see the little holes that I poked in it from the fork just to, so it wouldn't rise up in the glass dish. And it's ready to go. We're ready to fill that. And I want to show you guys another little secret, something else that I did. I took the mix, which is the filling, okay, and I'll bring it here so you can really get a look at this. And this is just a bowl that I put some ice in, and I filled it up with cold water, okay, and just to help me chill out the filling, the Nutella filling. And so what I did was just let the water come up as far up the sides as I could, just get the pan into the bowl and just let it chill. And after a few minutes, you just stir it out, and you'll see all the steam start to rise out of it, and it's cooling it off further, and just getting it broken down or taken down to temperature. Okay, and so it's really nice and just pretty bound up. The cornstarch has done a good job, and so we're going to just get rid of this bowl with the water. Okay, and pour that out and just get rid of it. Then we'll bring our tartlet shell back into play here. And what we're going to do with this is just make sure our filling is nice and thick. And it started to thicken up real good. This needs to go into the fridge for about 30 minutes just to harden completely, just to completely chill it out. Okay, so we will just take it and pour it all up into our shell. Just make sure it's nice and stirred up, that none of that Nutella is bound up on the bottom. And we just want to fill this shell just as full as we can get it. Just like that. Get all of that out of there. Okay. Now what we'll do, we'll take this over to the fridge and we will stick it into the fridge for about 30 minutes and let it cool out and let it set, and we'll add our strawberries. And this tart is not like a pie. This is not something we're going to put in the oven to bake. It's something that you need to put in the fridge to let chill. It has to set up before you can use it. Please, you take about 4 hours or overnight to let it set up before you add your strawberries to the top, and you'll get a much better product. Okay guys, we have our tart and it has set in the fridge. There's a little bit of jiggliness to it. It'll be okay. If one of the strawberries sinks, it'll be okay, man. It's not very deep. It's not a huge thick crust, so we just really want to settle our strawberries on top. Okay, and they may roll around a little bit. If they get, again, if they sink, it's okay. It'll still be edible. Gonna be good. But what I'll do is just start building them around the edge. Try not to turn them over. Okay. Just get as much of the surface as you can covered with strawberries. You may have to go backwards on one or two of them just to make them fit. But if they sink a little bit, it'll be okay. It'll still be a good dessert for you. I think your family will really like the dish. The Nutella just makes it really flavorful. It's a great little product. But we just make our strawberries filled the center just like that. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful little dish we end up with when we make a nice tartlet, a beautiful little shell, and fill it with great Nutella. I mean, just a great little filling we made for it. Turns out awesome, man. And you want to chill the strawberries just a little bit longer, but the dish is totally edible right now. What a great little tartlet we made. Man, this is cooking today. It's made with so much love. I hope you and your family will try this dish during the summertime. Just wonderful for outdoor, any kind of entertaining you're doing. This is cooking today.